Marcus Strom, National Account Managers for General Cigar Co. Chris Rohr is also one of the National Account Managers who split the U.S. up. We're celebrating 52 years in the business with our company of General Cigar. We're probably the largest premium cigar company as far as manufacturer and marketer of products in the world. We have factories, just so you know, in Nicaragua, in the Dominican Republic, and in Honduras. We probably employ over 15,000 people. We have in our portfolio some of the brands you might recognize. We make Macanudo, we make Artigas, we make Cohiba Monterey, we make CAO, La Gloria Cubana, and Punch and Sancho Panza, just to name a few of the products we have. We're thankful that everybody's here today. We appreciate you coming out for the dinner and joining us. Our only requirement tonight is to basically overindulge in food, in spirits, and of course cigars. And we're going to help you with that with the last part of it. We're fortunate we have a special guest with us tonight, and that is Mr. Rick Rodriguez. He is our brand ambassador, and if you're wondering what that is, I sometimes wonder myself. I believe he has the dream job of anybody in this room, and that's basically to smoke cigars for a living and get paid for it. But seriously, Rick's been a big asset to our company. He's been with us for about 16 plus years. 12 of those years he's been in the cigar training program, learning about tobacco, the agricultural soil, the processing, the aging, the rolling, everything there is about tobacco and premium cigars. He's also been a apprentice under Benji Menendez, who is one of the world-class blenders from Cuba under the H. Upman line, and we're fortunate to have him. He's kind of spearheaded several of our most sought-after cigars, including the cigar you smoked tonight, the CAO Pilon, as well as CAO Steel Horse, to name, and then of course one of the coveted winners of this year's Cigar Aficionado Top 25 list, the Flathead. So we're lucky to have him. We're gonna hand out a few cigars during the course of the meals. We started out with the CAO Pilon. We'll go into the Cohiba Nicaragua, then we'll go into the Steel Horse, and finally a Soulfire. And then, if you're lucky enough, and maybe if he brought a few boxes of the number 3 rated Cigar Aficionado. No, he didn't. Well, he should have, but maybe he didn't. But ask him at the end. He might have some squirreled away somewhere, and we'll have a little gift for you. So make sure you see him before you leave. He's got maybe a little gift package. And Rick's going to kind of describe the cigars because he is the connoisseur and actually the blender of these products. And again, we just welcome you. Thank you for coming out. We appreciate it. And cheers. Cheers.
We'll just talk about the Pilon first. So I took over the factory for CAO about 6 years ago. We merged with CAO 7 years ago, and through the process of the attorneys fighting with the bakers, we finally merged with them 6 years ago. Their blender retired at that day. I was a blender and for La Gloria before I left to take over the factory for CAO. But it is an honor because if you look at the rich history of CAO and when we took it over, they were known for a couple of things. What were they known for? Number one was introducing new exotic tobaccos to the market. So they were really the first ones that introduced Brazilian tobacco to the market in the U.S. And then they followed that up with Italian tobacco from Italy. And so we just, took that to heart, and so we started to introduce new tobaccos, but I started to think, why not introduce some new techniques to the tobacco, or, revisit some technique. And so if you look at the Pilon, we would use that. So Pilon is, all right, the name Pilon comes from, when you go to the factory and you walk into the fermentation area, that stack of tobacco is called a Pilon. So it gives me a gateway to talk to you guys about what we do in the factories. And so when you go to the factories, they say to us, I want to visit your fermentation area. We know that you don't really know a lot about what we do. But if you go to the factory and says, I want to see your Pilons, we get very nervous. Who are you? What are you doing here? And so that is for me. So doing some research, I discovered about 100 years ago, the Cubans were using this unique situation for fermentation. And they were doing it in a round, circular Pilon. And so we started to work on this situation about 3 years, trying different tobaccos, which ones worked with this Pilon, and we discovered something from Nicaragua worked very well, but it was too heavy. And so we went to another country, and we discovered that was the best tobacco to use. So it takes me using this process about anywhere from 9 months to 18 months longer. So typically it takes us about 6 months to a year for fermentation. This process is taking me about 18 months to 24 months to do it. But what it offers you guys a lot more flavor from your cigar. So hopefully you're going to enjoy it, and we're going to share another one. Cohiba, I really don't know or had anything to do with Cohiba, but it's a great cigar.
It's still our company. It's just he's a little favoritism to
Yeah,
CAO.
so but as long as you're smoking cigars, I love you.
No, as long as you're smoking our cigars.
Yeah, I'll get you one day. But if you have any questions throughout the night, please ask me, because if I can help you guys understand what you're doing, why you're enjoying it, why you don't enjoy that certain tobacco, my job is done. Because if I can help you learn 1 or 2 things today, you're going to enjoy your cigars more tomorrow.